Hi, I'm Paola Ranova, and today we're going to talk about the primordial pain of your soul and how to deal with it and how to eventually heal it. But before we start diving into this content, do not forget to like this video and to share it with people that you know are going to benefit from this, to comment how you felt below the video in the comments area, to subscribe to our channel if you haven't already, and to hit the notification button so that you know whenever we have new content for you, you're going to be the first person to know, so that you can be updated always about the Cardinal Method and what's coming up as new content for you. So when we talk about the primordial pain of the soul, this is something that's mentioned in many soul healing traditions, in many spiritual traditions. And some traditions call this the inner child wound, right? Others call it the core soul wound. And when you know what your core soul wound is, you start to know yourself. And you can also start to transform yourself in this process. So a lot of people, everybody has the core soul wound, but a lot of people don't even know that they have a core soul wound. They're not interested in knowing themselves. So that's their choice. But there are people who know that they are wounded on a soul level, and they may even know what their core soul wound is, but they live there. It's a dwelling place. They keep repeating it and reacting to it. So what are the reactions that create stagnation in your life, that make your life eternally painful on the emotional level? It's when you live in the past, and yes, in the past, all children have been hurt on some level. But as an adult human being, you can be the one to heal your inner child, and you can do something about it. So what shows that your soul wound is being healed is when you choose to transform yourself and to take charge of your healing process, knowing who you are and transforming that core soul wound into strength for yourself. You do this not in a flash, right? It doesn't happen overnight, but it comes from taking responsibility for taking this in your hands and shifting that consciousness process from pain to strength, by not delegating it to other people, by not being a victim of others, because we keep recreating the inner child soul wound in our adult lives in many different situations. So if I were to share with you what my core soul wound is, I've always felt different from other people. I never felt like I fit in. So as a child, I would be withdrawn and fearful. I did not like to be around kids my own age. I liked to be around adults and feel protected. And as a teenager, I reacted more in a rage, more in a vengeful, not in a vengeful way, but in a, in an intense way, and more anger, I would say. And I would isolate myself from others. So when people have this core soul wound of feeling different from other people, which has been my story, it doesn't have to be your core soul wound. There are many core soul wounds around, right? I'm sharing my personal experience. When people have this specific soul wound of, I am different from most people around me, I'm different from most people in my family, in my town, in my culture, there are often two types of reactions. You feel inferior to others because you're different, and you feel like you don't belong, like a fish out of the water, or you may feel superior to others, and then no one is good enough for you. That's another type of reaction. So again, if you feel superior or inferior to other people, if you have this specific soul wound, you're going to be living in the pain, dwelling in that core soul wound. So how do you shift that? You stop reacting to that pain and you start responding to it from a higher self perspective. And this is why I keep saying to everybody, connect to your higher self every day. We have a connection to your higher self meditation here on YouTube. If you haven't listened to it, I highly recommend it. It's right here in the description of this video. It's a Clear Quartz meditation that helps you connect to your higher self. And when you start connecting to your higher self, you start owning your life from a mature place and owning how you can heal yourself, right? So one of the things that really helped me feel like it was okay to be different, I cannot change who I am, was to know that people who love me will love me regardless of my difference if I'm different from other people, people who love me don't care. People who love you don't care. You will be loved for who you are. If you're different, or if you are able to fit in more in the environment where you were born in. And what was the thing that I needed to do? And that's something I recommend if you have this specific soul wound, right? Go find your people. Go find your soul family. Maybe it's not your original family. Maybe you need to travel. Maybe you need to move somewhere else. But once you start owning your responsibility for self-healing, you will start attracting the people that resonate with your truth a lot more. Instead of always fighting with people that you feel don't understand you, or maybe you are immersed in a group that you feel you don't belong, start owning your divine personal power and healing yourself by knowing your core soul wound to start with, and by transforming yourself, by not feeling a victim. As an adult, we have choices, so we don't need to feel victimized on the emotional level. We can make choices not to be that way, and stop delegating the shifts that will happen in your life to other people, and find people who resonate with you. It is possible. So this is just the beginning of a conversation. I'm bringing some elements to expand consciousness here so you can start thinking about solutions to your problems and feeling more connected to the truth of who you are, and especially finding out what your core soul wound is and how you can respond to it from a higher self perspective and then start healing yourself. Because once I admit it, yes, this is the truth of who I am. I'm different from most people I know. I can find people who feel different too, and then we can start belonging with and to each other. And then my life expanded immensely. And another attitude that really helped me was to stop victimizing myself and feeling like I didn't belong anywhere, owning my truth, and finding not only my divine personal power, but also emanating good vibrations so that I could be with people that are different too, but that are willing to love and be loved. So this is ultimately what makes us happy, right? So I hope that this was useful, and I really want to hear what you think about all this. Please comment below this video so that we can start talking more about this topic. And don't forget to share it with people that you know are going to benefit from this content. This is a pretty powerful soul healing topic, and the more we start diving in, the more we start creating space for a beautiful life to start happening. So thank you so much for your presence here, and I will see you soon.